Terrifying discoveries have convinced them. One of them managed to curb the family feud.
Bad news. The governor will abuse his power, and the rest won't let him get away with this. Nothing's changed.
The town was placed in quarantine. From now on, the infected districts will be locked down, and no one will be able to leave until the situation is resolved.
Well, it won't be. They won't figure it out.
A wrong place invites a fatal turn of events.
Hi everybody, welcome back to Pathologic. This is episode 3. I'd like to apologize right now. I had some issues with recording this episode. I lost all of the commentary and about the first 10 minutes of gameplay or so. Not a big deal for that. All we did so far is go from Eva's house to the theater, where it immediately started that cutscene that we saw right at the start. Just quick little background information of everything that happened in the past couple days. You can leave the volume low because there is a lot of issues and there's just kind of a background static over the entire thing for this episode. Not really sure what happened, but we're going to try and figure that out for the future. And this will be a little bit of a shorter episode than normal. Okay, what we're doing right now, I think, is heading towards Alexander's to talk to him, see if he has anything for us. Switching weapons here, because at first I thought this guy was one of those that throws knives at you. This group got NPCs that I've only seen at night so far, but they throw daggers at you. I have not yet been able to dodge a single one, and they kill me every time. One throw, good insta-kill. As always, I did a bit of scrounging through the trash cans and a little bit of the hobo bartering before. Didn't make a lot of progress with that. Picked up a few things, not a lot. And, oh, my apologies, we're actually heading towards Ruben's office. I think it's because I got the... for Lara, when I gave her the food, she gave me a bunch of nuts for trading with the children, and a lens. And I want to go test that in the microscope. Actually switching to the scalpel here because I have so few bullets I don't dare waste them, especially with a guy who took more than one shot. I did experiment. You can kill a guy, I think, instantly with a single shot if it's a well-placed headshot. Unfortunately, I'm not good against it with someone that is actively attacking me. I tested it with someone that is, just standing there, killed an NPC, loaded save, just to see how it works. Here I am right now, floored by the fact that I actually have 2 pistols. Looking back, I think I got one from Alexander as part of the reward for him. But here at this point, I keep looking back and forth because I was wondering where I got the second revolver. One does have a durability of 30, where this one has full durability. I decided to keep both of them. That way I can, even when I have the money, get the second one repaired. Use the one pistol, and when the durability gets too low, switch to the other. That way I don't have to immediately worry about getting it repaired. Dear colleague, by some happy coincidence I managed to get my hands on a certain vessel that I believe I can recover the pathogen from, which means we are now all set to research the vaccine. But, odd as it may sound, I'd rather avoid tapping into that source I mentioned unless I absolutely have to. I'd rather examine the samples that can be procured from the dead tissue. It won't be a vaccine per se, but rather a solution that might temporarily bolster the immune system. True, I don't have much in the way of equipment, but I have plenty of reagents, herbal tinctures, tyrine infusions by and large. The least we can expect is to keep ourselves reasonably safe until a better equipped team arrives. I was going to ask you to bring a sample or two from one of the infected quarters. Be doubly careful though, and make sure to get this section fully cleared with one of the rulers, else the risk would be twice as high as it needs be. I'd go myself, but there are reasons that make it impossible for me to leave Simon's body unattended. As they searched for Isidor's killer, these savages wrought havoc on what laboratory equipment we had, and after the rumors of your discovery reached the townsfolk, most medikits and reagents are stolen. Regrettably, I was unable to control it. Do pay a visit to Governor Subaroff. I wouldn't go to Vlad if I were you. He's too resourceful and too inclined to drag you into the schemes. The Canes are also out of the question, as anything that leads Georgery to me would likely result in Simon's body being taken back. Here I'm checking my equipment because I want to attempt to use the lens on the microscope. Now you see I clicked it here and it disappeared. So I'm going to spend the next few minutes actively searching the ground for it because I was mistaken to believe I dropped it.
Is to do without witness what one would do before all the world.
But I actually noticed later in the game, and I'll point out when we get to that part, that it did not drop, but it actually equipped to my special vision that I bring up sometimes. I don't use it a lot, I'm not sure how, but it's like my disease vision or something where it looks for the virus. Apologies for the wasted time in this room. I was really upset about losing that lens because I didn't know where to get another one since I got that one from Quest Reward. But here I am giving up on it and trying to move on. Just double checking my inventory in case it came back. And now we should be on our way north to Alexander's house, so that we can talk to him to get permission to take tissue from Simon's body. And here we are being attacked by a giant rat, which actually, as you can see, kicked my ass. Drained my health quite a chunk, got some disease from it, and I couldn't loot it or anything. Here I am noticing this is actually the infection zone, or quarantine zone. You can see the infection on the houses to the right. The infected areas is true. Yes, sir. We were, sir. I apologize. Better safe than sorry. Come through, but keep in mind, sir, they're all crazed, mad, and insane in there. Possessed. If they attack you, go ahead and run anywhere, but do not kill them. We'll have to intervene and beat you within an inch of your life, for they are innocent and in pain. Yes, this right here is actually where my lens went. I checked it on Google and it seems to last longer, I think, with the lens. Looking at the top right bar up there, that pink section is longer, and I think that's what the lens did.
My chest hurts. Can it be conscience?
We are doing worse than ever. The infection is spreading. I regret to say that no one can help you here. Local superstition prohibits any violation of a body's integrity. Add a cult of the dead on top. If they see you dissecting a corpse, they might tear you to pieces. It has already happened once. I understand, but there's nothing I can do. Let us pretend this conversation never happened. You might want to turn to your new acquaintances. As far as I can judge, they are ready to do anything you ask. This difficulty could be resolved by some rather sinister people. I am talking about butchers. Butchers, rather obviously, have no qualms about cutting bodies. Tradition gives them hereditary right to perform this sacred act. Of course, Olga Miski had them locked up after another one of their strikes. However, it is said on the eve of the blockade, a group of butchers did not make it back to the dormitory on time. Someone is hiding them. There's a house here on Earth whose dwellers know who it is. Take a chance. Actually, I believe there are several religions in real life that have the same issues with, like, autopsies and cutting up the dead people and stuff. Oh, and we've reached dawn of the third day. What happened here? Sorry, that was so short. I was actually going to cut straight to the hospice here, but that popped up on the walk, and I wanted you guys to be able to see it. Oh, I did purchase some drugs on the way here. They were a lot like the yellow tablets I had earlier, but more effective and a hell of a lot more costly. I believe they will half my infection rate. Or at least the level of infection. So I'm going to try and purchase some more of them at some point, as soon as I have the money. I'm very low at the moment. And when I do, I can drop my infection down so I'm not nearly as sick. They had some disposable gloves. I probably could have sold enough to purchase them, buy them, but I decided not to. I'd rather not sell off that much stuff, and I don't know if they're actually better than my leather gloves or not. However, I do purchase the needles, and possibly the kerosene. I think I might have gone without the kerosene simply because I do have 85 already and I don't use my lighter that often. Here I am just checking my gloves. I'm trying to see if there's anything listing there that would tell whether or not they are better or worse than the rubber gloves there, the disposables. And a letter from Georgie, which would be the start of the second quest for the day. I will go see him shortly, but after I'm done at the hospice. Looking at the list of required people, those who are bound to me, Victor Kane is still the only one that has any kind of description. It is my understanding that he is the only one that is at risk today, and that I have to do, I would assume, Georgie's quest to keep him alive. And I apologize for checking my map every 10 steps I walk, even though I've been to this building several times before. I'm very bad about that, and I hope it gets better throughout the series. That thing is still creepy.
What?
Please touch me. Do I have a fever? Well, crucify me. What's this about? Running more errands for the Olgamiskis? Well, I gotta hear that. Why on earth would these wise servants seek anyone's help? You can only find dead victims in the infected houses. Since you appear to be alive, you've never entered a single one of them. You have 5 to 10 minutes if you do, then the infection strikes, with expected results. Perhaps I could find a lot of runaways that would agree to help if only I asked them to, and the same me will ask you for a favor then. Will you do me one? Of course, I don't really have a choice here, after all. You're influential influential with the Ogmuskies, use that influence. Tell him to stop persecuting the runaways. It's no longer a revenge situation, but he's still all too eager. Takes the guy quite some time to calm down, huh? Anyway, if he swears to leave alone the butchers that are now outside of the termitary, I'll talk 3 runaways into risking their life. It's not like they have anything to lose anyway. Here I am back at the old Comiskey's house, with that creepy painting right in front of the door.
Who could have thought? So an outbreak is upon us?
The Skinners. Yes, that was one nasty day, wouldn't you agree? Oh, come now. To my mind, there's nothing to discuss here. However, a good bargain always catches my attention, so... Here I am willing to sacrifice them. I'm such a good doctor. Aren't you a humanitarian, my dear doctor? The thing is, I don't need them to die. I need them to return to the bosom of the Bull Project, punished but unscathed. What's in it for you? Here I am telling him that I simply need them. And what would you be willing to offer? Let me see. I know what I'm going to ask as payment for my butchers. It's a unique resource you own, the one I'll never get my hands on. Your influence with the Canes. I'll cease to pursue the butchers if George Reese ceases to pursue young Baraka. He isn't guilty. He has an airtight alibi against all charges, which I am willing to confirm. Let them leave him alone. Agreed? Indeed, and I'd rather you convinced Reuben that young Baraka has nothing to do with Isidor's tragic death. The thick-headed Reuben is the last one who still needs convincing anyway. The boy might be labeled a patricide, as if he hasn't had enough. You do see Reuben from time to time, I know that. I haven't finished yet. Apart from that, I wish they stopped torturing me about the termitary. I'm tired of repeating that it's clean. That is why it's closed in the first place. And here I am flipping it back on him. For goodness sake, if you put it like this, yes, certainly. Certainly, I was going to, as well. It's no matter now. Now that the Skinners is infected, just like the crude ball before it, you have my word as a merchant. The thing is, I know you as a man of honor. Damn it. Here I am at Kane's house, about to speak with Georgie.
Most men only die because they know not how to prevent dying.
My dear doctor, misfortune is a regular guest in our family home. A new calamity has befallen us. The house in which Reuben lived and worked has been tainted by infectious mold and fallen prey to the looters. Our messenger searched every nook and cranny. Neither Reuben nor Simon's body are in the house. Some of the people who helped undertake the search are paying a terrible price. They've contracted the sand pest. It appears that once the infection began to spread across the house, Master Reuben decided to remove the body. He must have taken it to some hidden location that he considered safe. However, since we still haven't heard from him, we can only infer that Reuben is dead. Something tells me this isn't going to happen. Please help us recover the body, Doctor. We are already much indebted to you for having identified Simon's killer. It's not your fault that the truth has turned out to be so distressing to us all. I implore you to help Simon and us once more find my brother's body. Someone may have seen something. I believe you've made some unusual acquaintances in the town slum. Not to mention we've all manners of low life here. Could they know something? Speak to my brother Victor. He is much better than me where the practical side of things is concerned.
The true way to be deceived is to think oneself more knowing.
Oh, sorry, I skipped some text there. I do, if I were you. Olgamaski's son would be the first person I turn to. Young Vlad, nicknamed Sharon. Reuben and he have had some business together. Vlad the Younger is a loyal son. He may be cynical, but deep inside he believes in the precepts of vassal ethics. He has no reason to conceal crime, but he'd never help us knowing that we're acting against his father's best interests, notwithstanding our respect for each other. What, abandoning them in the middle of the perilous night? And now I have to go talk to Vlad, who lives in the bricked-up house. Or at least hangs out in the bricked-up house. For clarification on the map, all of the red hands are markers of my main quest, I believe, and the gold hands would be the side quests, or the optional ones for the day.
It's all very suspicious.
How can I help you? I don't know, I haven't seen him. Do you suspect that Reuben is dead? If Reuben were alive, he would undoubtedly make his whereabouts known, and he certainly wouldn't keep quiet about the pest getting inside of the town. He's one of the few who have an actual understanding of what that entails. There are several locations where Reuben could have taken the corpse, but I have no plans to reveal them to you until you do our family a favor in return. I want to settle the dispute between us and the Canes concerning our unwillingness to let emissaries into the dormitory. I don't know what the Canes are thinking, but we're not harboring anything or anyone there that could be of even remote interest to them, especially to my deeply esteemed fellow Victor. First of all, it's dangerous. The rabble is rioting. I've told you about that more than once already. Secondly, Father will not submit to the younger Cane's orders. If this keeps up, we'll soon be taking orders from his 10-year-old son. Sounds elaborate. Very well then. I'll give you one more reason to keep the dormitory closed for as long as possible. Frankly speaking, it's you should have prevented us from letting anyone in there, even yourself. It's your direct duty. Exactly. Fortunately, we locked the dormitory off a day before the sand dirt came to our town. Should the Canes insist, I have an argument that will easily convince both them and you. You require proof of the rest of my words, too, don't you? I'm listening. The Canes are hiding something, too. They have their own skeletons in their closet, and it's even more unsullied than ours. Our closet is full of workers. Theirs is full of other people's children. If you can make sure that everything is well inside the polyhedron, then trust me, the dormitory is fine, too. It's an enclave, a closed chamber. Certainly. Did you not say yourself, at least that's how it was relayed to me, that walls are a solid defense? Besides, think of what will happen if 10,000 people pour into the streets in search of food and gossip. Try to imagine the picture. tried to curb the righteous anger of the judge and the terrible victor. They seem to have finally decided to harass my father to death. I have no doubt that no matter what he did, it's not his fault. If you do that, I will gladly assist you. So now Vlad wants me to work against Cain, and Cain wants me to work against Vlad. Because the Cains want me to go and search the Termitary, and he wants me to stay out of the Termitary and search the Polyhedron. The Polyhedron, since I haven't actually been there yet, is the little section to the far left of the map. One time off camera, I walked to it just to see what it is. It's a very weird structure. I will try and go back to show it off at the later part of this day so that you guys get a chance to see it. Sorry, I know I skipped part of this text. This guy's agreeing to send the butchers to go loot one of the bodies. He tells me just to wait a minute because they know that if I'm standing there, watching them work, everyone's going to know that it's really me that they're being chopped up for, even if I'm not actually holding the knife. Right now I'm trying to look around the map to see where it wants me to go for the quarantine zone, the infection area. And there's nowhere specific on the map that it tells me to go. However, since I talked to Alexander earlier in the day, I saw that he was in part of the infection zone. So that is where I'm just going to go and try and find something there. And this is the Termitary, which would be basically the boarding house or the dorms where all of the people that work in the cow slaughter pen work. I keep trying to barter with the children. I'm purchasing much ammo as I can because I rarely use my gun because I have so little ammo. But she only had the shotgun shells, which are not worth purchasing right now because I don't have a shotgun. Though I have a feeling I am going to regret that later when I do get access to the shotgun, because I'm sure it's going to be an awesome weapon. Probably a one-hit kill or something, and I won't have any ammo for it, and I won't be able to afford it. Here, I'm just checking to see if there's an entrance into the Termitary here. Oh, I don't think I've met one of these on camera before, just a few off camera while walking. There's this new NPC here. They ask for money and help. It is my understanding that helping them has no influence on the game whatsoever other than your reputation. The one guy wanted like 100, 500, or 1,000 gold pieces or something, and I gave him 100. This is the same conversation when earlier going to talk to Alexander. But I gave the guy 100 gold pieces because I didn't really have a lot to spare. And I didn't want to give a lot, but I wanted to give some to help my reputation. Which should make conversations with other guys easier in the future, I believe. Just buying some more revolver ammo, because you can never have too much, and I don't have nearly enough that I would like. But that's actually all we got to do in this episode. I'm afraid I did not find the bodies. I'm just going to spend another few minutes looking around in the quarantine zone here, trying to find the objective. I have a little moment here. I'm not entirely sure what that is. I think it's either that my health is too low or my infection is too high. That would be my guess. But I did take some food just in case. I am probably going to take the pills here soon if I can purchase some more. Try and lower the infection, see if that stops. But that's actually all we got time to do today. Thank you everybody for watching. I will see you in the next episode.